I talk to you about the right side. Right side sympathetic nervous system, which is expressed by our subtle energy of Mahasaraswati, which gives us the power to act. By left side, we desire, and by using the right side, the power of Pingala Nadi, we act. I was telling you about the right side the other day. Let us see how our right side is built up. I'm sorry for people who have come for the first time, but every time when I start the introduction to the subject, again it becomes the same. But later on I'll explain to you about Sahaj. Now this right side Pingala Nadi is a very, very important energy-giving energy which makes us act and activate. Now this one is made of all the 5 elements. You know all the 5 elements that have created our physical being and our mental being. That's how it helps us to work out all our physical and mental problems, mental activities, and mental and physical growth. Now this being made by those 5 elements, when first time human being started thinking of doing some action about anything, say in India, they first thought, why not somehow or other reach to the principle of these elements, which is beyond physics, which is beyond chemistry. And to reach to that point, they thought it would be better if we try to invoke or to awaken the deities which are governing those 5 elements. This was a very big mistake though, I should say, because human beings, whatever they take up, they do not know where to stop. If you tell them that you have to clean your teeth every day, then they will go on cleaning it 12 times in 12 hours. You tell them anything, they will go so far that they will destroy the instrument which is supposed to be looked after. That's the nature of human beings. They cannot have breaks to themselves. They do not have common sense as far as balance in their life. So anything you give them, they become so mad after it that in Marathi there's a word is that they ultimately put ashes on their head to declare that I am dead now, I have become ashes. Like that, they get so frantic that even while doing this awakening of these principles, they lost their sight that we are after all spirit and not these elements. We are beyond that. We have to reach beyond that. All these elements are only useful for us to achieve a state in which we can create things and we can have more time to devote to meditation, to enjoy our self-realization. They got completely blinded by the advances they made on this side, which is, in pure and simple words, is materialism. They became so responsible, so efficient. First, in the Vedas, it's written the first stanza is such that by reading these Vedas, if you do not know your spirit, then it is absolutely useless. But this stanza they always closed down, I think. Then they started worshipping those deities, this, that, exciting them, doing all ritualism and all that, and they just went into it headlong, absolutely headlong. They would not turn back. So by exciting these elements, they discovered the principles of these elements. For example, they discovered that gravity is the essence of the Mother Earth. But it is not. That is not the essence of the Mother Earth. That is the energy that is asserted by her, but her essence is her fragrance. They could not cross that limit where they could see really the subtle thing, which was the subtle principle of this energy of gravity, is the fragrance. All the fragrances come from her. Of course, man-made there are, that's different. But even the man-made are also coming from her. If you go trace the source it up to the point, it is from there. Like that, they went on discovering the subtler, so-called subtler energies or the principles of these elements from the Vedas time. Then it became a science. People started studying physics, chemistry, this, that, understanding what was there before them by going into it and trying to find out what is it made of. For example, they went into atoms. They went into, say, molecules and things, and they tried to find out. And there they find the oscillation of the protons, and they find the oscillation of these atoms. They just can't understand now from where this energy of this oscillation is coming. They could not capture that energy, so they thought better use the energy. So they started using the energy. Now it has gone to such a limit of the whole thing is now I saw that microchips or something coming up. After some time, you won't be using hands or head or anything. It will be that microchips will be going on. But with this kind of a thing, with this extreme behavior, you will become a machine yourself, a slave of the machine. Today the petrol is exhausted, tomorrow electricity is exhausted, then what are you going to do? You don't know even to count 2 plus 2. So you are left without any counting. You will become the same primitive man. And I don't know what will you be doing. Climbing on the trees and living like monkeys, I don't know what will happen. So all these advancement that you did has gone too far. But as a result of too much efficiency, too much responsibility and all that, you became sort of addicted to it. And then with that you started dominating other people. The machinery came in, with that you produced such a lot of machinery stuff that you didn't know what to do, so you had to find out markets where you'll sell them, so you started capturing other markets where you started selling them, and that's how all these economic problems and all these have started. There are developing countries, there are developed countries, all things going on in this mad world. But we reach a point now where we realize that this machine has done something nonsensical within us. When we reach that point, we start thinking, now what are we to do? We have been very responsible, not you people, but your forefathers maybe, who went to fight the whole world and do this, and they had to be at right time, at right places, and do all sorts of things. By that over-responsibility, you became sort of fed up. You just didn't know what to do. For example, morning you wear a grey suit, the night you have to wear a tailcoat. Then if you have to drink your wine, you have to take a separate glass. And for that, this, It became too much messy. You said, throw them in the sea. Not going to have all this nonsense. We have collected all these forms and horrible things that have made us so rigid. That's how you try to throw away everything. But even then, when you throw away, where do you go? I mean, you have to exist. You cannot just hang in the air. So you said, now take another style. And another style is even worse. Much worse. Because then no responsibility, no respect, no understanding. So this power goes absolutely zero. You are tired very soon. I've seen, I mean, in the BBC and all that, young people, I'm a very old woman compared to them. After saying 2-3 words, they go down. Again, after saying something, this is very big acting these days. In any play you see a person say, what does it take to act for this kind of a thing? This is what is very common now. You notice it. The reason is you are tired. You are absolutely tired. Why? Because your brain is the same old brain. And you have taken a new life. You cannot adjust yourself to that. You say that now I'm sitting down doing nothing, I'm not going to be efficient anymore and all that I'm sitting down. The brain is going chuck, 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 morning till evening. How to stop this brain? This brain is working so hard, using up all your energy. You have no strength. So to counteract, you would say, let's take to some sort of a thing by which we go out of this madness. Let's take to something that takes you, as we call it, the right or the left side. Take something like, say, hashish, or something like another thing, LSD, to go to the right or to the left. Now what happens with that, you know very well. Now thank God you have realized also that was nonsensical also. That was no. These are two areas within us which are called as Adi Bhautik and Adi Daivi. Now the Adi Bhautik are the ones which take you to the left side, is the subconscious. And the Adi Daivik are the ones where you try to invoke the devas and all that on the right hand side. That one is the Adi Daivik, where we call it supraconscious. These two are of no use to human beings. Actually, they are not meant for you. They are meant for people who are dead souls, who are good for nothing. Now they cannot get realization. It's not meant for you. That's the area you should not reside. But you entered into these areas because of extreme natures. Some people, by going into these stuff, some taking to some sort of movements like mesmerism, spiritualism and all sorts of isms. Some people onto the right hand side, like taking to what you call these people who are racialists and all such organizations which are racialist and this and that and you know, all that kind of a people, like Hitlerish type. All this is nothing but is a kind of intoxicant which makes you forget the reality that you are a human being, that you have to become the spirit, that you are the spirit is the reality. Now the present trend in the Western life is very much set in this country, about which I am very much concerned. I've talked about to many people in person and also otherwise, that the quality of mind, because we are with the English, let's talk about the English. Quality of mind of English is excellent, I've said it always. And the young people of English have a very good quality of mind. But their heart is like this. They are frightened of what God alone knows, but they are frightened. Or they have taken this pose, I don't. Now to do any work also they are frightened. Supposing we put this color, then it may not match. If it doesn't match, doesn't matter. What does it matter? Because of those previous ideas, they are so frightened of doing anything. Though they say they have broken all those ideas and they have taken to a new liberated ways and all that. But this liberation is also another madness in which their fear has not gone. So the quality of mind of we, the English Sahajogis and English people, is excellent. If you talk to them, you will think you are talking to a scholar. I mean, no less than Shakespeare. They could be very well read. They will know about anything you ask them. What is this road? This is the road. No. What's the name of this road? This is the gentleman. Who was his grandfather? What he did? What was the gossip about him? Scandals, everything. You can get everything from them. They know everything about everything. Sometimes I'm amazed the way people know about things, about all the details as to how many women he had and how many wives he divorced and what he did and where he went and what he wrote. Take anyone. Take a writer or take an artist, take a hooligan or take a robber or anyone who has appeared on the newspaper as if they have drunk all the newspaper into their memory. The whole thing is so clear-cut in their mind that it's sometimes amazing. But if you tell them to fix one chair, never trust that chair. Never trust it. If you ask them to do anything, they'll tell you, all right, tomorrow at 7 sharp, I'll be there. Even if he comes after 7 days, thank your star. I've known people who have been done this to me. Now it's 4 years, I've never seen their faces again. They're supposed to be XYZ from Oxford and ABCD from Cambridge. They have got first class first and this and that. If you go into their rooms, you'll find it's a pigsty. You don't know where you have landed. I mean, you don't believe that it belongs to any educated person. There's no sense of responsibility left in their head. I mean, this energy that is working in the head, if it is not put into a responsible channel, no wonder we find every third person is a paranoid. Something wrong with the brain. What is wrong with the brain is that so much energy is here and you are not channelizing it at all. By what ways are we to channelize it? Even after realization, I find people have no respect for anything. Sometimes it's more surprising that with all this brain activity going on, they get all the satisfaction from the spirit. They are raising the Kundalini, all that. But they have lost that capacity to be responsive. And that's why in Sahaja Yoga also they are not responsive. This goes on not only about their own private work, but about Sahaja, about everything. So this quality of mind has no heart. It has heart in nothing. Supposing I am telling you something. I don't know what Sahaja Yogis are such, but now I've seen with people, you give them a lecture for 1 hour. It's lost, finished. They're just the same. What has happened? It's only the vibrations. It's only how you work it out that the life changes and all that. But as far as they are concerned, nothing is recorded in the memory. Sometimes I feel, how do I talk? Is it too much on their heads or below their feet? Where is it flowing? So the reason is that the heart is not. If you register it through your heart, you will do it. If you put your heart into things, you will do it. The heart is, as I told you, is chicken hearted. Is absolutely chicken hearted. And that's why this is what is lacking in our character. For that, now the stage has reached, we have to raise our right side, not the left side. Our right side is absolutely finished. And there, the leader of the right side are 2 persons. The deities are 2 persons. Of course, Brahmadeva is the one who is the creator, who has created this universe, and who is the one who is busy still creating and doing lots of things for you people. But I would suggest that we have to pay attention to 2 ideals we had in the history for this to understand what sort of ideals we should have. Because the right side is a Rajoguna. It's the one by which you become majestic, you become royal, you achieve all the Rajoguna as you know that. Now, 2 persons are really to be followed in this. One of them is Sri Ram. Sri Ram decides on the right heart. is the Father. He is the Father, and He is the fatherhood. He is the one who came on this earth to teach us how to be a father as a king. He is a father king. He is a benevolent king, which was described before Plato. He is the benevolent. He was the ideal who came on this earth to teach us how to be responsible to others, how to respect others, how to understand the feelings of others. To such an extent he went that he had to sacrifice his own wife for the sake of his own state. He did that, and he had to ask his wife, who was pregnant, to go and live with a very great sage. One may say that what was he doing about his wife? She was the goddess. She was so remarkable that he was not bothered about her. He was so sure of her powers that he did it. And there is nothing wrong in leaving things to the goddess to do, instead of meddling with her all the time. But this gentleman, Sri Rama, understood the responsibility of a king. And that responsibility is lacking in us. That responsibility towards ourselves and towards others. It is very, very surprising. I mean, I came from India. I had never met Englishmen at these close quarters. Till I came to England, I should say. Because before that we met was missionaries. Missionaries were terribly responsible for converting all the people into Christianity. They would get up early in the morning, take their Bibles, go around to all the places, clean all the dirty lanes, and clean all the children like pick papers, you see. Clean all the dirty people there, kiss them, and do all the impressive things to convert the people. They would go even to the forest to convert them. They were so responsible about it, and they felt they have to do it. This is God's job. They are doing God's job. They must convert. And they went on with this, and that's how some of the people I met. Then the rulers were extremely responsible. They were ruthless. They thought it was the greatest thing they were doing was to spread British Raj, and that was their responsibility. When it comes to spreading God's Raj, we are not. First of all, in our own lives, we should see, are we responsible? Now, in the modern time, I find that we have got rid of that sense of responsibility. It's called as a sense of diminishing responsibility. We'll just say, yes, I know, I shouldn't. I know. I can't understand. If you have a heart, how can you say that? That I know I should not have. I know I should have been here. The reason is, there is no heart, and the heart always catches when your right side overacts. That means your brain is acting too much, and there is no real action, the output of it. You think too much and do not put it to practice. I should have gone, I should have done this, I should have said so. And this is the problem with our right side. Now, among our Sahaja Yogis also, I find people have the problem of the right side. To worship the right side, we have to see to Sri Ram. How he felt responsible for the whole. How he used to look after people. How he looked after the things of other people. How he behaved towards other people. That's a very important thing which we have to learn. But I find people coming, if it is somebody else's, they'll throw it. They will just jump into something and say that, all right, this is my house, I just settle down here the way I like. There's no sense of responsibility at all about it, that you have come to somebody else's house. You have to have some care about it. In the same way, you have to know, you have come in the world of God. This is the kingdom of God, where you have entered. You have been a stranger. Today you are a guest in this house. What are you doing about it? How are you behaving? Are you responsible? Are you like Sri Rama, who took upon himself all the problems of the world, and still he was so responsible? He would not do anything even this much to disturb a person. As far as possible, he would like to try to console and to have the formalities of good living. Formality is meant for good living and good understanding. Unless and until you have this sense of responsibility, your collectivity cannot be alright. You cannot be collectively alright. You need not be a machine for that. There is no need to be machine like Japanese, only one person says the another doesn't come. But this one kind of a funny individualism that you have got will never give you that collectivity that is expected of Sahaja. We all have to be one, being responsible for each other. Not only for 1 or 2 persons because he's my friend, he's my husband, he's my wife, but for all of us. We have to be responsible for them, for their things, for their children, for their house, for everything. We have to be responsible. And if this sense of responsibility is lacking, how will you have responsibility for your self-realization? Only it can be a self-centered thing, thinking that I am very much better, my powers are better, I must have more powers. But if you do not have this sense of responsibility, why should God also give you powers? The main thing is your right side is completely weak. That is the Surya Nadi. That is the Nadi which is called as the Nadi by which people hold their prana. So it gives you the prana shakti. Is the prana shakti within you, which is the vital force of energy within you, which is lacking. Now this lacking is added up by your heart. At least for a man like that, whose prana shakti is exhausted, at least for such a man, if the heart is there, he can really use that power, which is accumulating in the head and exhausting him, like eating up his brain, if he has the heart. Now this is what I have told you last time, that the right side of human beings is very important when it comes to Sahaja. Because when the Kundalini rises, your right side is also weak. Now the question is why Sahaja Yoga does not spread in England so far. It's a very good question many people have asked me. While in Australia, it spread so far. The reason is the right side is missing. The right side to be awakened, first of all there should be some right side. If there is no right side, what do you awaken? If there is no light at all, what are you going to awaken? There has to be a lamp to be awakened. So all these topics and talks that we have in the society, I know, and then you ask them, I don't. How are you? Right. All these actions and all that, one should give up. One should know that you have to be responsible. That's a very, very important thing of life. I personally think unless and until you feel that responsibility, that heart into Sahaja Yoga, you will enjoy just my talk as you would enjoy anything else. Real enjoyment comes when your spirit really blows out the vibration. You are taking my vibrations, all right, you are feeling them. But what about yours? Are you blowing your vibrations out or they are just taking your breath? Simple question is, are you blowing any vibrations outside? We have some Sahaja Yogis, when they just enter into a house, immediately, everyone feels it. Everyone can feel it that somebody has come. Immediately the whole thing cools down. You know that somebody has come. There are some here also, not that there are none, but there are few people. You have to blow out vibrations, otherwise you are just a liability to yourself. Why don't you blow out vibrations? Because you don't feel responsible. In your day-to-day life, morning till evening, you have to see that you develop this instrument of responsibility within you. Otherwise the vibrations won't flow. Because the main reason is that our nervous system comes to us through our right side. Our nervous system is built up by our right side. All the elements within us have built up. If the elements are weakened, if the chakras which are made by these elements, as you know, all these chakras are made by elements. If the pot is weak, nothing is going to work out. You should be able to hold that water of love, or you can say the water of bliss, and should be able to pour it out to others. Unless and until you are able to do that, Sahaja Yoga won't spread. It will spread very slowly. This is the difference I feel between English and Australian. That the quality of mind is 1,000 times better than Australians. They are not scholars. I found very few people there who are even graduates. Here everybody is a PhD or maybe MAD. But they are all very well educated. Despite all that, Sahaja Yoga does not spread out. Why? The reason is the quality of mind is good, but the action is extremely poor, because you are exhausted, tired, you are fighting in the mind. You are not doing anything by which you blow it out. The right side is what you call the Brahmadevas creation, and the Brahma Shakti, as they call it. This is the power of Brahma, which is flowing through you. We call it the power of the Spirit. It's true. But the Spirit, the power of the Spirit, flows on your central nervous system. If there is the electricity all stored up here, and there are very weak wires, what can you do with all that stored up energy? The wires have to be improved, and for this wire, your right side has to be improved immensely. Every minute, you have to be responsible. This is what is lacking. Then I find when some people who are responsible, they feel extremely hurt. They feel that they should really shout and scream and should do something. They don't know that these are really the saints. They are realized souls. They are great people, no doubt. But their right side is weakened. But that is not a great thing to accept. It's a very bad thing. But that doesn't mean you should feel guilty again, I'm saying. Because very nice, this is the way we manage, is to feel guilty. Because feeling guilty is the best way. I'm sorry, I should have done it. I know. Then how can you improve? If you have a pouch here filled up all the time with responsibility denied, all the junk you have created out of that, you are pushing it into that pouch, and then you say, yes, I know, I should not have done it. Now what can you do? As a mother, you can't say you hang yourself by the nearest tree. What do? And I just look at you flabbergasted. I said, really? I said, yes, I should have done, but I haven't done it. For example, I tell somebody, you better cook for 10 people. That's how you are at a standstill. You really don't know how to eat. The point is, in all this talking of spirit and God, one has to know the vehicle has to be better. The vehicle is so very poor that it cannot carry, otherwise you will emit vibrations like this. I know you can. Wherever you stand, you will attract. People must gather around. You'll be amazed. I went to Australia for how many months? At the most, a month or so. I came back from there. Already 7 centers have started, and every center has got at least 300 regular people. It is not to feel guilty, I'm not saying, but to awaken yourself, to arise to this point, to be elated with understanding that you have to rise up to that point and that you have to take up that position because you are the warriors of truth. You are the people who are seekers, you have been for ages, and you have no business to be irresponsible. You have to do it. It is my earnest desire that you understand what I am saying. Just sitting, meditating, putting hands towards me or towards the photograph is not everything. You are still receiving. You are still at a receiving end. You have to be on the giving end. How will you do it? You get so many vibrations sometimes that you cannot feel after some time. It's so filled. The picture is so much filled. But what about pouring it out? Why you cannot pour it out? The reason is that the vehicle within you, which is the right side, is the Pingala Nadi, is out of here. And this is what one has to understand. That can be built up only when you know about Sri Rama's life, the way he led his life. Every minute of his life was dynamic. Not a single minute he wasted in life. every minute, whether he was in the forest or he went to a place with his wife when he was in exile. And there he knew his wife was a very shy lady and she could not take her bath in the open. So there's a rock which is completely hewn out. Such a big rock hewn out, can you imagine? Inside there is a water tap sort of a thing coming out. There's a water coming. So that there's stone here, stone there, and at the end of it there's an opening. So that there's light coming from this side and light coming from this side. But inside you go, nobody can see. There are trees with which it is. There are trees which are called as shikakai, means that's a kind of a soap-giving trees are created by him for his mind. Anywhere he lived, he created a new dimension, a new house, a new style of life. Of course, he was an incarnation, you can see. But he is your ideal, and not those people who sit out for hours together, drinking something and thinking they are great martyrs. I see all of them sitting near our church here, and one of them was asked by someone who was passing by, "What are you doing?" We are killing ourselves. Very proudly saying that. I mean, I just don't understand what business have they got to kill themselves. How much time it has taken God to create them, and here they are sitting and proudly telling that we are killing ourselves. This is the situation in which I suddenly find myself. So I ask you, what should I do? How should I do? You have to feel responsible in every way of life. But you do not think that there's anything wrong if you are a hanky-panky person. If your feathers are falling everywhere, it's all right. To you it does not matter, but to the divine it does. That means a person cannot convey the message of God, cannot communicate the bliss of God, cannot pour that love. We have to become very responsible. In everyday life, I am not saying that in Sahaja Yoga, but in everyday life, how you live, what you do. Are you only worried about yourself or you are worried about others? Are you responsible for others? I mean, the modern style is not even to wish good morning is regarded bad manners. You see, it is bad manners even to open door to someone is bad manners. They think it is slavish. I mean, all manners and all those things, all responsibility seems to be slavish. And this kind of these modern ideas that are floating in the air, you should throw them away. You have to be human beings of a very great quality. You have to be people who have created new worlds. You are going to create that, I know. You have to just rise up to that point and not to sink into your guilt and say, "Oh God, what we have been doing." No. Awaken and arise and get it what you have to do. That's what I feel about England. England is so great, and it's the heart. It's the heart. And look at the condition of the heart. Your heart is so weak. There's no heart to anything. All right, you love me. I love you. But what about you loving others? And loving other things. Loving doesn't mean writing love letters. Doing something about it. And that's what the doing something is missing and lacking. And that's what we have to build up our right side properly, into proper shape. If we have to really do the cooking, we have to know how to light the fire within us and not to sit down and worry how to do it. It is a very great thing to come to England for me, really, for one reason, that this is the place where Sahaja Yoga is going to work out. It is going to circulate in the whole world. I know through you people. But if you do not improve the communication wires of yours, it will completely stagnate. And the responsibility of this stagnation will be on you, the Sahaja Yogis of London. Because you did not put your life together, that's why it did not work. It's a tremendous responsibility. Of course, to be responsible is wrong for wrong things, but not to be responsible for divine work when God has blessed you with self-realization is absolutely against what? Against yourself, against Sahajavan. The other personality which I was talking about is Sri Hanumana. Sri Hanumana is such a great, powerful personality about whom I did not tell. Rama once, his brother was hit by an arrow. And Rama said, tell Hanumana that why don't you go and get a particular type of a medicine for him, and you get it on a particular mountain. So you go and get that particular thing. So he had a power. He had 9 powers, Navadha Shaktis. He had 9 powers, by which he could become small, he could become big, and he could lift anything. He had lots of powers like that. So 9. Anima, Lagma, Garima, like that. He could become so heavy that nobody could lift him. But these are the powers he's got of the right hand side. And so he went down to that mountain, and he couldn't see that anywhere. He just couldn't see. He said, why not take the whole mountain? He took the whole mountain on himself and he brought it to Rama, and he said, now select whichever you want. He could have come back and said, oh, I can't find, I'm sorry, I know I have been useless. If he was an Englishman. But he said, all right, if you want, he brought the whole mountain, now come along, have it. In every way of his life, you see his sense of responsibility and how he carries on. For example, he was sent to Ravana, and he was asked by Ravana that he told him that you cannot stay in this place, why did you come here? Actually, first he went to Sita and told her that Sri Rama has sent me, and he showed the ring, and she recognized that was the ring of husband. And he said, Mother, if you want, I can take you on my back. But she said, no, already, you see, I am a woman who has come with another man. I don't want to have another bad name, and you'll have a bad name, so I will not come. So it's all right. You can go back and tell Rama that I'm all right. You as a husband come and fight this man. Otherwise, I'm not going to come. So then he was caught up and taken to Ravana. Now Ravana said that you are a monkey, and what have you come to do it? He said that you better release this wife of Sri Rama, and he's such and such. So he said that, you monkey, you are telling me these things? All right. They said, burn his tail. He said, if they burn my tail, I know how to use. He knows how the responsibility of the tail is. He started burning the whole of Lanka with his tail, and he could have said that, all right, he's burnt my thing, I better run away. Why to do such a thing? Better avoid. Get out. So forget it. I'm not going to go to Rama. He's burned my thing. Tomorrow he'll do something else. He burned the whole of Lanka. The whole of it he burnt. Till Ravana had to say that please forgive and go. He did all kinds of tricks to show that he was really powerful. In so many ways of his sense of responsibility and his dedication and love is expressed. But they say that even if you take once his name, whatever work you want to do, it can be done. Any work that you want to be finished will be done, and his day is a Tuesday. On Tuesday, if you request him for anything, he will help you to do the work. But it's not like this that you sit down, now, come along, Hanumana, will you please do this job? But if you are doing the job, then he comes to help you. Means that he activates, and he makes your energy flow into that direction that your work is done. He is so helpful in so many ways that you can't imagine. So many Sahajogis have tried it with them, And he has created such miracles, especially the Australians. Somehow they have such a feeling for him. I know the reason, but they have such a feeling for him that every time anything happening, they tell Hanumana, Hanumana, now please look after us. And they have told me that such miraculous things have happened since they have been using Sri Hanuman. But you must have the vehicle to carry this Hanumana. He is a very subtle deity within you, and if you are irresponsible, he hates such people. He hates. He just can't bear it. He thinks they are absolutely useless people. He doesn't pay attention to such people. Those who are not responsible. They may give any excuses, they may show off, they may do anything. He just doesn't care for such people. He has no love, no respect, no attention for the people who are not responsible. There's a very nice English saying, God help those who help themselves. English language has so many beautiful things in it, all its nursery rhymes and everything. I wish people would not just utter those sayings, but do it. They listen to me, but they don't. Now you have heard me today. You should see how much responsible you are. Now we had our first ashram. And if there are others, please excuse me, because it's an open thing and we have to talk about it. And I was surprised that in our first ashram, when I went there, I was amazed. I mean, young people living like pigs. I couldn't understand. I mean, they are not hippies, they are not taking any smokes, drinks or anything. They are so irresponsible. They go to the bathroom, they come out, as if a bull in a china shop has entered. They really live like that. I was amazed. How could they? And they were all graduates, MADs, PhDs and everything. I was wondering what has happened to these people. Slowly they improved, but this lot went away, the new lot came in and a new lot came in. And it's so surprising that once they become responsible and good, some or other Hanumana takes them out. They just get out of it. Now I have to tell you to determine today, to decide that every moment and movement of your life, you are going to feel responsible as Hanumana does. Any work you tell him. About him it is said that har kaaj karne ko tatpar. Means for doing any work, he is just ready. He's just ready. You tell him anything, he's just ready to do. It is his quality that you should have. And that quality is so much lacking today in England. All your strikes, all your problems can be solved. First time when I came, I was surprised. I asked somebody, are you working? He said, no, I am successfully unemployed. That's really, you are successfully unemployed, so how do you eat? Or we get our doles. Oh, really? We have securities. What is security? It is nonsense. You are a parasite. There is no self-respect. Leave alone the respect of others. There is no self-respect. I was amazed when I told them, all of you have to take to work. Anybody who takes to doles is not going to stay in the ashram. I wish your government can take some note of it. That we have to create responsible citizens. In England itself, we have to show that by Sahaja Yoga, you have turned the tables. You have got smart people now, efficient, responsible. This is what we have to show. Once you show this to others, people will be amazed. With others' money, it's the same. If you can get hold of somebody else's money, that's the best thing. It's a very common feature. First time the Sahaja Yogis went to India, they came back here, they never wrote a letter back, thanking them. And I was amazed. For 6 months I said, what were you doing? I know we should have written, I know we should have written, but why? Why didn't you write? No responsibility. What is this? I could not understand. Gradually they developed and developed and developed. Now they feel. But those who have started feeling are the mature Sahaja Yogis, I should say. But others who are coming to it must know that you have to have sense of responsibility. Sometimes people who are realized have a feeling, oh, now we are realized. No, nothing. Settle down. Have the bliss of mother. Sit down and enjoy it. Nothing doing. You stop. You have to be able to give this to others. You should emit. If you cannot emit those vibrations yourself, if you are enlightened, you should be able to give light to others. You can raise the Kundalini, alright. But what about your own personality? Which is so irresponsible. Which is nowhere near Hanumana's. This Hanumana style of complete obedience to your being, complete emission of that love that you have received, that divine power you have received. Unless and until you achieve that stage, you should not be satisfied with your self-realization. Self-realization is only complete when you yourself become the giver of light. You the good. You the great stars. That's my ambition. I know I expect sometimes from my children. And I want them to understand that I want you to be really honored in the kingdom of God as great sons of your mother. May God bless you. This side also. You know that. But keep it up. I do courage by saying all these things. I do awaken Hanumana and Sri Rama within. No doubt, I know. But keep them awake. Keep them alert. And you have to be alert and active. Responsible and respectable. You have to realize that you are saints. Saints of a very special quality. The saints who can give realizations to others. There have been not such saints before. Nor even today there are saints who are realized souls, but they don't know how to give realization. They don't know so much. You have so much of knowledge and everything, except the vehicle is poor. It cannot carry the bliss. The cup has to be all right. Otherwise it cannot carry the beautiful fountain of love that is pouring down on the earth. And that is how you must know that within you this is awake. Keep it awake. Keep it going. Please close your eyes. Stay on the ground. Put both the hands towards your head. Thoughts are gone now. There are no thoughts. So even if you want to feel guilty, you cannot. There's nothing to feel guilty. It is to awaken within yourself that fire of spirit that makes you express and emit. We have to move very fast. We have to achieve it very fast. There isn't much time left for us. It's easy to say that it's rather difficult and all that. These things are not to be talked by us. This is meant for some dramas and things, not for people who are chosen by God. Just lift your hands a little bit and you'll feel it. Better now. Right side opening very much. Not to have any fight. Nothing. You know your mother can never be angry. Never. But I have to awaken that I love you very much. That I want you to have your due. All the heralds, and all the glory. Close your eyes. Let it go. Let it go. See, the responsibility of the spirit is so great. Whatever may be your vehicle, once it is awakened, it gives realization to it. It acts. Be responsible like that spirit. If you become the spirit, you will be like that spirit. Close your eyes. Just close your eyes. By arising your right side only, you can really give balance to your left side. There's no way out. You just try to be responsible. Be amazed. Just try to be responsible. And you'll be amazed. Your all financial problems, all your problems will be solved. Because you are awakened. You have a special power. You have to be just responsible. The responsibility becomes a heavenly power within you. Get the power from your heart. Put your heart into it. Put your heart. Put all these things into your heart. I have to do it from my heart. I have to be responsible from my heart. I have to be innately responsible.